Song bangs. Yeah. Learn about which armor I should have for each character. We're gonna get to that. Don't worry. I haven't even decided myself. I'll make a video covering it though. That's actually my next video. So yeah, we'll probably decide it by the end of the stream because I'm doing a tier list here. Damn, 8 people? What the hell? Damn, 8 people. I just started. Hello, people. Hello. Dang. Alright. Well, it's time to get started, ain't it? Alright, let's pull up the screen for the stream bars. Okay. Sorry, it's a little sloppy. Let's try and move this a little over here. That's about right. It's out of here. Let's move over to the tier list itself. I'll wait for some more people. Oh, this one is a banger. That is not what I thought it would be. I don't even know where to get started, because... Alright, I should start by explaining the tier list. Okay. Everything works perfectly fine. So... This tier list, we have all of the armor details. This is the wrong page. I meant to go to armor. Armor. Shout out to Deltarune Wiki. I'll have the page linked in the description when this goes up as a video. But we have all 38 armor pieces in the entire game here. And we are going to rank all 38 individually based on every single use they have. All of their stats, everything they do. That's how we'll rank them. So, we'll get started by doing it. We'll just do it in the order here, even though it's not in perfect chapter order. We'll rank them all in order here. In the order listed. I did this for chapter 3 and 4. I did this for chapter 1 and 2. Might as well do it for chapter 5. still Devil's Tail is goated. We'll have to see what I think about that, because there's a brand new armor that really almost kills the Devil's Tail. Alright, let's go. Amber card. This is the definition of slot filler, right? 1 defense. You buy it for $100 dark dollars. You can get it. It's the default armor from if you start in chapter 2 or 3. You can get it infinitely. It's not that great, right? It just exists solely to fill a slot if you have an empty slot, especially in the double fight, because you're gonna have at least 3 empty slots going into there, because there's only 3 other armor pieces you can get in the chapter. So you'll need to buy at least 3 amber cards if you want to do well against Javel. So it at least gains value for being the best slot filler, because it's the only one you need ever. But yeah, it also can be crapped into the silver card, so I'd say it stays around the top of the last resort tier. That's where I'd put it. And next up we have the dice brace. Now, if I do remember correctly, the dice brace has nothing special about it. All it does is 2 defense. Unlike the other 2 defense armors in the chapter, it cannot be crafted into something later on. So that means it has practically no value. I'd be willing to put it at the top of last resort. No, I'd put it in alright. 2 defense is valuable in chapter 1 because there's only 4 armor pieces. One of them you get after Jevel. It's still not that great, but it's good enough for now, you know? It's okay enough. Is there anything that's doxing me here? I don't think so. And what's next? Pink ribbon. Now the pink ribbon actually has so much value, right? It's actually going to get pretty high on the list. So the pink ribbon, when you use it in chapter 2, because so I want to mention the pink ribbon and the twin ribbon got nerfed, right? When chapter 3 and 4 came out, both of them got nerfed badly, made them almost unusable. I can't remember exactly what the right. It makes it so you gain like 20% less TP in exchange for the graze area going up, so that practically like gets rid of what it did, right? Because the graze area made it so it gave you more TP technically, but it kind of doesn't anymore because of the nerf. But the pink ribbon, the only time you're using it is chapter 2, and it is very valuable in chapter 2. If you're using Noelle, you get it while you have Noelle, and Noelle needs TP for Sleep Mist, Ice Shock, Snowgrave. All of her skills, they need TP. And you're using pretty much all of her skills, right? The pink ribbon is also pretty valuable in the weird route because you get X-Slash on Chris. So as long as you can dodge Spam to Neo's easy-ass patterns, you get to actually make use of the pink ribbon's increased graze area, because in chapter 1 and 2 that meant increased TP gain. And Snowgrave Spamton is chapter 2, right? So the buff still applies. It did get nerfed in chapter 3, so it does lose value. So I'm honestly gonna bump it. It used to be the #1 armor in the game. Like, it would used to go up here back in the chapter 1 and 2 era, but it got nerfed right after that era, so I'd say it goes down to... good. Maybe insane, maybe... I'd say bottom of insane, because it's one of the most usable armors in the entire game. While you have it, while it's still good, it's good. It's really good while you still have it. So, I want to go over what it does, because I did forget to. Grace area up. See, this is what it says. I think it says the same thing before and after the nerf. But it's it did get nerfed. And 1 defense, Grace area up. Putting this as background noise as you're working on your own theory. Thank you. Appreciate you. Okay, so next up, we have the white ribbon. Now, the white ribbon and the pink ribbon can both be used to craft the twin ribbon, which we're going to get to when it comes up. The white ribbon, it's honestly just the same thing as the dice brace, except you can craft it into the twin ribbon, and the twin ribbon, you get it at the end of chapter 2, which is like, you get it right before it's nerfed. So you don't get to use it at all, really that much. You only really get to use post-nerf twin ribbon in actual fights and content. So I'd say the white ribbon's use is minimal. It's just dice brace. It's pretty much dice brace tier, actually. Most of the rating for these armors are going to be based on their usability when they need it, right? They're going to be based on their usability when you get it. Unless it's a special case, right? I'll mention any case that it comes up, right? Okay. Iron Shackle. This armor is really good, I think. This thing, if you're going for Devil's Knife, or just fighting King, which most people do because it's faster and doesn't change anything, it's 2 defense and 1 attack. This is the best armor you can get in Chapter 1 before fighting Jevil, right? Excluding the Jevil's Tail, because the Jevil's Tail is really fucking good. Iron Shackle? Iron Shackle goes up, I'd say, to good. You can also still use it in Chapter 2, because the 1 attack, 2 defense, it's pretty good in Chapter 2, since the standard armor for Chapter 2 is just 2 defense. It's better than the standard armor for Chapter 2. It's going to be a reoccurring thing. Things will get higher if they're better than the standard armor of the next chapter. Now, that will probably change around Chapter 5, because the Netsuki hat, which is the main armor of Chapter 5, is 6 defense, instead of just matching the chapter number, which is really interesting. We're gonna get to that when we get there. Don't worry. Jevil's Tail. 2 attack, 2 defense, 2 magic. You get it from sparing Jevil. This armor, if you've seen my first tier list and my second tier list for armors in this game, you'll know I had the Jevil's Tail as number 3 in Chapter 1 and 2, and I had it as number 1 in Chapter 3 and 4. This thing is like my favorite armor in the game, right? So it's gonna really suck when I tell you that I think the Jevil's Tail was completely killed this chapter. The reason for it is this sucker right here. We'll get to that when we get there, because I don't want to get ahead of myself and start ranking things out of order. But honestly, the Jevil's Tail is still really good. I'd say it's game-changing. Because while you have the Jevil's Tail, and from Chapter 1 to 4, it will be like the best armor. Or one of the best armors. It will be like, at least in your, it'll be on one of your characters. It'll be in your top 6. It will be on one of your characters if you know how to build properly, right? But yeah, the Jevil's Tail, it got massacred this chapter. Once you go into Chapter 5, you'd best just unequip it, honestly. You get a Netsuki hat, you just put it over. It's a really sad day for the Jevil's Tail, I'd say, yeah. I love this armor, but Chapter 5 did a number on it, so we're likely never going to need it again. Silver card, 2 defense, plus money. You can stack these up and pretty much make a deal maker if you give everyone 2 silver cards. It's just a 2 defense armor with a slight little perk. Chapter 5 made me consider Devil's Knife for main save. That's so funny, Because in my perfect save video for chapter 5, the first thing I'm gonna mention is how I went back. I went all the way back to the reason it's taking so long is because I went all the way back to chapter 1 to get the Devil's Knife instead. Because the Devil's Tail was just killed. I'm gonna explain that in the video, but yeah, that's the reason. The video's not coming out in like 2 seconds. Because I'm on chapter 5 right now. No, I'm on chapter 4 right now. I have to remake all my perfect saves. And I'm learning from my lesson. I'm just making a spreadsheet of all my perfect saves so I can re-download them whenever I need to. And I don't know, I'll probably post it as like a members only thing or something. If you don't want to just follow the guides, which are completely free. You should just follow the guides. I don't know why I'd make a download option. It's kind of stupid. Silver card. The Devil's Knife is really niche because Justice Axe. Yeah, I agree. However, the Devil's Knife has the most value for the one fight that you need the most value in, and that's the Knight. The Devil's Knife makes Root Buster cost less, and it obviously does more damage than the Devil's Tail. Which, it kind of adds up a little. You don't need it. You do not need it in any semblance at all to beat the Knight. I've beaten the Knight like 20s of times over without the Devil's Knife. It's fine. You don't need it. But it's pretty good for the Knight fight. I think that's where it gets all of its value. It also has the magic stat increase. So if you want to build Susie in magic for some reason, you can use the Devil's Knife instead of the Justice Axe. It gives you more options. The Devil's Knife, having both the Devil's Knife and the Justice Axe, does give you more options overall. Especially with the Devil's Tail becoming completely fodderized in Chapter 5, right? Because for Susie, you're gonna have, like... I'm gonna talk about this in my video, because I'm still... Oh, God. Excuse me. I'm gonna talk about this in my video, because I'm still pondering over it. But honestly, I do think there is a clear best build right now for Susie. I can't really put my finger on exactly what, but I know the yellow hat is on there, and the yellow hat is just Devil's Tail on steroids, right? Devil's Tail, I'd put it at the top of game changing. It's nowhere near the best anymore. But while you have it from chapter 1 to 4, while you need it, it is going to put in numbers for you. Silver card, we were on this, weren't we? Yeah, I kind of backtracked. Silver card. Yeah, it just goes to good. No, it goes to alright. The money gain is not that good unless you have 6 silver cards. And there is an armor piece that is just 6 silver cards on crack, which is this thing, the Deal Maker. So... Silver card's kind of useless. Twin Ribbon. 3 defense, Graze area. Now, it's going to be really funny how I rank this. Because the Twin Ribbon, it does 3 defense. It does more Graze area and more TP gain than the Pink Ribbon. It is by all means better than the Pink Ribbon. The problem is that you get the Twin Ribbon at the end of Chapter 2, and going into Chapter 3... the Twin Ribbon got nerfed. So there is no real fight where you can use the Twin Ribbon at the same potential that the Pink Ribbon had in Chapter 2. So I'd honestly put the Twin Ribbon right below the Pink Ribbon in, like, bottom of insane or top of good. It's so crazy to say that, because it is just by all means better than the Pink Ribbon. But the Twin Ribbon has no functional use, because the only time you get to use it is after its nerf. While the Pink Ribbon, you actually get to use it pretty much the whole chapter. Like, once you get Noelle, which is the first time you actually need TP gain, you get the Pink Ribbon in, like, 2 rooms after you get Noelle. Twin Ribbon, by all means better than the Pink Ribbon. Like, almost no usability, though. While the Pink Ribbon you can use all the way through the Cyber City and Queen's Mansion. And if you're in the weird route, you can just spam X slash with Chris because of the extra TP gain from the pink ribbon. Twin ribbon does not have those qualities because you don't get to use it at its full potential. It's pre-nerf stuff. You don't get to use that in anything but like what Chapter 2 All-Stars. It's sad, but that's how it is. Glowrist, 2 defense. I'm gonna put it above the Dice Brace solely because it can be crafted into the Spike Band, but it is the exact same armor. Nothing special about it. Actually, I'm putting the white ribbon above the Dice Brace. Honestly, I might move the Dice Brace down to top of Filler. Yeah, I'll do that. Dice Brace is pretty useless after Jevil, and you don't even need it for Jevil. You could just get 2 Amber cards. Not recommended, but you could. And you wouldn't suffer. Chainmail. So how exactly does this work? Yeah, it doesn't do anything special. It's just 3 defense. That's unfortunate. 3 defense. I think that's one of the first 3 defense armors we got on here, though. Honestly, I put it right below the Iron Shackle. Because 2 defense, 1 attack, I think is more valuable than 3 defense. Chainmail doesn't really strike me as so interesting, unfortunately. It's okay, but probably won't last too long. Once you get it. I never equip the chainmail once I get it. I never equip it. Big Shot Bowtie is actually one I quite like. Because it can be crafted into... It can, 1, be crafted into the tension bow. If I remember correctly. I think that is correct. Yes. The Big Shot Bowtie with the tension bit can be crafted into the tension bow. So it has usability after its 1 magic gain. The 1 magic gain is actually pretty helpful too, because magic increases every spell. It increases every single spell. Attack increases your damage output on anything that deals damage. Magic increases the output of any magical spell. So putting armors that boost magic on Chris is one of the stupidest things you can do. I just want to say that. You'd best focus on defense and attack with Chris. Honestly, I like to use Chris as my tank, which I'm going to get to later. Because Chris has, like, mid-range of HP. I'm gonna put Big Shot Bowtie, next to the Iron Shackle. It does pretty much the exact same thing. You just swap the attack for the magic. They both have their own separate uses. They're both pretty good. I'll put it right there. So you'll notice throughout the ranking, I'm going to prioritize Omni boosts over single stat boosts. Or multi-stat boosts over single stat boosts, right? I think that's pretty obvious. Like, Twin Ribbon does more defense than the Jevil's Tail. Jevil's Tail also raises way more stats, so Jevil's Tail goes way higher, right? I just want that to be known. I'll explain why as they come up, but I just want it to be known what's going through my head. Spike Band. It's the opposite of the Iron Shackle, right? It's one of the mini armors in the game that you can craft with Malleus that don't actually upgrade it, but just change it. The Iron Shackle and the Glow Wrist combined make the Spike Band. The Spike Band is 2 attack, 1 defense. Honestly, I'd put this above the Iron Shackle. Because the Spike Band, personally, I like to use it on Susie when fighting the Knight. I typically do Chris with the Saber 10, Shadow Mantle, or, well, Bounce Blade, Shadow Mantle, and, what, a Lodestone, I guess. And then for Susie, I would do Toxic Axe, Devil's Tail, Spike Band, or Devil's Knife, Spike Band, Dealmaker, And then Rousey just gets all the TP gain stuff. Lodestone, whatever. Spike Command, I think, goes pretty high. I'd honestly put it above the Twin Ribbon because of its usability in the Knight fight. It makes the Knight go by way faster. Because you want Chris to tank all the hits from the Knight. I might do an updated strategy guide covering every secret boss, just so you guys know what I'm talking about. But the Spike Command will get you done the hardest fight in the game way faster. Because you'll be putting it on your damage dealer and you'll have Chris tanking. Because Chris is pretty much supposed to be the tank, right? Chris has no magic stat. Chris is just raw attack and defense. That's a perfect person to do your tanking, I think. Even though Susie has more health. Susie does have more health than Chris. But Chris is in the... I think Chris is just a better tank because Susie obviously focuses more on damage and magic. Chris does nothing but attack and defend. At least that's their role in the party, so I'd say you use Chris as the tank. We're going to rank everything assuming you use Susie as a damage dealer, Rousey when necessary, and Chris as the tank. Okay, let's keep this in mind. We'll have Chris be the tanker. Chris will take all the damage up front, or will attempt to. Susie will prioritize magic and attack boosts, and Rousey will prioritize surviving, I guess. Rousey is kind of useless still. The flower weapons are crazy good. Yes, I cannot wait to get to those. Those will be all the way at the end of the tier list, though. I'm still not set on what I'd say are the best flower items to pick. I have an idea as to what I want when I do my perfect save. Oh, the Aqua Knife is not an armor, so it's not going on the tier list. And I do not do weapon tier lists because weapons are more straightforward. I might do a separate video talking about the Aqua Knife and the ballet shoes, though. I do remember you, Physician. Jeez. Yeah, this is armors only. The reason I don't cover weapons and armor in the same tier list is because, one, they're completely different things, and two, armors are way less straightforward than weapons. For weapons, you just put the stuff that does the highest stat, because most of the time they don't have secondary effects that are actually worth it. And, like, the only weapons that have secondary effects that are worth it, I'd say, are the Black Shard, which has Slay Dark, and the Blue Shoes, which make zero cost pacify. No, I remember you because most YouTubers tend to remember their frequent audience. Okay, we should continue. What's next? Silverwatch. So the Silverwatch is interesting. It's really... It's hard to tell exactly what the Silverwatch is. Well, here's the thing with a weapon tier list. It's hard to discuss weapons because if you compare them all together, you're not going to get an answer. The thing with weapons is that they can only be equipped on specific people, so typically it's just whichever has the best stat wins. You don't really compare weapons because then you just have to like do a tier list of Chris weapons, a tier list of Susie weapons, a tier list of Rousey weapons, and all the weapons are just whichever one does the highest stat is better. Because they're weapons, right? They don't really mean that much. I think we do have the same exact top 4 for the flower stuff, yeah. Do I care about Susie being able to wear ribbons? Yes, I do. I don't know how much it's going to matter with my rankings. It actually might matter quite a bit because the Princess Ribbon and the Monarch Ribbon are really good armors. We'll get to that. Silverwatch. I was talking about the Silverwatch. I got so off track. Silverwatch, if I remember correctly, I cannot tell what it means by the wiki page, but it raises 2 defense and graze time. I think graze time means the more you graze, the shorter the turn is. So it ends your turn faster if you graze better. Well, it ends the enemy's turn faster the more you graze, so there's less of a chance of getting hit. I believe that's the case. If not, then this doesn't really get ranked that differently. We're just gonna assume that what I'm saying is correct, right? Because I don't know off the top of my head. I haven't used the Silver Watch since Chapter 2. So, for that reason, because TP is so valuable in most fights, I put it pretty low, actually. I'd say it's better than the silver card. Yeah, I'd say it's... Actually, can I get rid of the chainmail? The chainmail's so useless. We're not putting the chainmail up there. Yeah, I think the Silver Watch isn't really that useful. It has some nice cutscenes with Noelle. I like to take it for completion, no matter what file I'm doing, but the Silver Watch isn't insane. Oh yeah, the Twin Ribbon used to be really good until it got nerfed. We never got to use it in action, it was really sad. And the Twin Ribbon nerf just becomes more apparent as we go. I like the silver cards a lot because you use them all the way to the mansion. I mean, yeah, extra money is nice, but I feel like Chapter 2, you don't really need extra money. Because if you take it off of Noelle, you don't need to buy a Royal Pin, which is the most expensive armor in the chapter by far. And you'll just naturally have enough for all the other shop items. Big Shot Bowtie, all of Spampton's stuff is really cheap. And if you want to do completion, a Spaghetti Code and a Butler Juice, that's really all you need. Hi, Toffee. Tension Bow. Gain 10% more tension from grazing bullets. This goes way higher than the Silver Watch. I just want that to be known. This goes way higher. Because the Silver Watch ends your stuff way faster. This stuff... Yeah, it is... 2 defense, TP gain. It's really good. Honestly, I wouldn't put it insanely high, though. I'd say above these two. Maybe above the Twin... I'd say... No. Because you can only get one of these. It is a better lodestone, true. Honestly, I'd put it right here. You don't need it horribly. But it is really nice to have. The reason you don't need it horribly is because when it becomes useful, which is the knife fight, you can just buy lodestones. It is a better lodestone, but you can get, like, infinite of these things, right? You can get infinite, like, lodestones. You can have 6 lodestones if you're a lunatic. But the Tension Bow, it's just a better lodestone. You only get 1, so it kind of loses a little bit of value. But it's still really good. I'd say it goes right below the Spike Band. Above the Twin Ribbon, because the Twin Ribbon reduces your TP gained, unfortunately, as a balancing thing, which kind of shot it dead. But it does increase your graze area, so it somewhat cancels out. It depends. The night fight's really easy to graze stuff anyway, so it doesn't really matter. This OST is so fucking banger, by the way. Mannequin. So I don't know if it's going to tell you here exclusively. I might have to go to the specific page for it. Where does it say it? There it is. The Mannequin does 0 stat gains, but it has a hidden damage reduction against Puppet and Cat enemies. I'm going to go to Puppet and Cat, see if it lists all of the... Is this just the element page? Does it list every enemy that is in the Puppet and Cat section? I don't think it does. Well, I remember it well enough. So, this thing reduces damage taken on any party member that holds it by 35% against Puppet and Cat enemies, which include the initial Spampton fight, Task and Task Manager, Spampton Neo, And pink. Chapter 5 Secret Boss. This thing is such an investment. I find the mannequin rather context-based. This armor is really good for... Did it get nerfed? Oh yeah, it did. Chapter 5 it got reduced to 20%? That sucks, actually. The True Tie and Dealmaker would be better, actually. So, honestly, for the value against the Spamton Neo fight, I'd put the mannequin above the pink ribbon, maybe at the bottom of game changing, because it can be really good. I'll put it at, like, above pink ribbon for now. We'll see later, because this is not final at all yet. It goes above the pink ribbon, because 35% against Spamton is really valuable if you get hit a lot, like me, because Spamton still messes me up. But, it's still kind of valuable against pink in Chapter 5, even though it got nerfed. But there are better choices that are still on this list that we've yet to rank. So don't worry about that. You don't need the mannequin. Sean will be like, did you ever pick up the mannequin? But you don't need it. You don't desperately need it. The Dealmaker got reduced too, sad. Yeah, we'll cover that when we get there, I guess. Oh, Dealmaker was crazy. What the fuck? I think Dealmaker's 30% if I remember correctly. We'll find out. Speaking of which, yeah, mannequin goes top of insane. It can be good against pink. You'd be fine with just normal defense boost though. But if you don't have crazy armor, which you probably won't. Can you not copy paste spam in my chat, please? Thanks. Okay, frayed bow tie. Did this get nerfed in Chapter 5? It didn't. Is this a good attack? Chris Blackshard. Good build. Chris Blackshard, Gold Widow, True Tie. Slash Monarch Ribbon. Blue shoes, Seth Specs, yellow hat. Honestly, do what you want to do for your build. I'll cover what I think is the better build. But, you should leave things that, increase magic off of Chris, because Chris does not use magic whatsoever. Pink and Twin Ribbon making attacks last longer might make them better. I agree. Honestly, I might put the Twin Ribbon above the Tension Bow for now. Actually, I might move the Spike Band, like, down, because the Spike Band is really high up. I'll move it right here. Spike Band... Shit, I dropped my phone. That's how I'm reading the chat. Because I do not have multiple monitors. Spike Band? Spike Band is, like, really useful against the Knight. And that's it. You don't need the Spike Band for anything else in Chapter 3 or onward. It's not crazy. But the Knight is the hardest fight in the game still currently, so it does get a lot of value. That's... yeah. Recent changes, Dealmaker 51 seconds ago, shit. Okay. Braid Bow Tie can be equipped to any party member. It is a Omni 1 stat boost, which is good. That's crazy, by the way. It's like a budget Devil's Tail that you can use against Spamton Neo. It is also still usable against Pink, but I don't recommend it because there's better armors to use against Pink. Why is the dog armor so trash? Oh my god, it caught me. It caught me when I first played and I was sad about it the whole playthrough. Where are you? You're on the list, right? Frayed Bow Tie. Honestly, The frayed bow tie's value goes above the mannequin. His frayed bow tie does a very similar boost, but it's also an Omni 1 stat boost, which in Chapter 2, where you get it, is still decently valuable. Because around Chapter 2, the Devil's Tail is like number 3 armor in the game, I'd say, because the Pink Ribbon and Twin Ribbon are just the undeniable best of Chapter 2. Devil's Tail is like number 3 in that chapter, though. Frayed Bow Tie, I'd say, is number 4 in that chapter, because the defense against Spampton, plus the Omni 1. I think Frayed Bow Tie is actually really good, yeah. True, actually. I did say earlier in the stream I would give extra points for being a fusion component for useful things, and the Frayed Bow Tie and the Tenna Tie create the True Tie in Chapter 5, which is, I think, the best armor to fight Pink with, if I remember correctly. I think the True Tie is the best armor against Pink. So the Frayed Bow Tie, speaking of Pink, the Frayed Bow Tie is just the best. It is the one, like, Chapter 2 pickup you need to pick up, other than, like, the Deal Maker, which we're not... I don't think we should count that. Devil's Tail is good until the Cruel and Unusual hat shows up. Should I show you guys my, what's on Discord if I open it? Look at this thumbnail. Yeah, this is gonna be the thumbnail when I make this into a video. Yeah, the Devil's Tail got fucked so bad. I can't do anything. I'm in a fucking wheelchair. Alright, let's go Deal Maker, because I believe that is next after the Frayed Bow Tie. Deal Maker? Where's the nerf? 20% in Chapter 5. That's fair. You never really get to use the 40% then, because the next time this ever shows up is Chapter 5. But we need to pay attention to this. 5 defense, 5 magic, 30% money gained. What was Toby thinking when he made this armor? And the defense against Pink. This armor is honestly insane. I think this armor goes in best. This is going to be our first entry in the best. Plus 5 in both the stats that really matter. Plus the defense against Pink. You're getting 5 defense and 20 and plus a 20% damage reduction. Chapter 2 armor, by the way, insane. You're getting 20% damage reduction against Pink, 40% free nerf, which would put it at like maybe the best in the list almost. No, because the pink items are, the flower items are obviously better, but you know. Dealmaker is like easily top 5 in the game. Maybe even top 4, top 3. We know who Toby's favorite is? Oh yeah, Toby's favorite is definitely... I am way too busy to play charades today, yeah. I like stream for a reason now, I'm monetized. Yeah, Dealmaker goes in the best. Dealmaker is so broken. It's not even funny. So, you'll notice, like I said at the start of the stream, if you were there, armors that increase stats. Armors that increase multiple stats by a large number will get higher on the list. One of the best armors in the game that I ranked in the highest tier in my Chapter 3 and 4 video was the Gold Widow, which was a, I believe, plus 5 defense and plus 1 attack and magic. Take that 1 attack, put it into the magic, and add 3 to it, plus all the 2 secondary effects. That is insane. This thing goes way up in the best tier. Crazy armor. Also, if you want to make your own tier list, I'll put the link in the description of the video. I should do that, actually, like right now. I did make this tier list. That's what all these custom images for. So, yeah. I like to make things myself so I don't have to credit people. But if I ever need to credit people, I will. Don't worry, I'm not a scumbag. Description, link. All right, the tier list is in the live stream now. The description. Let's move on. Sorry, this theme is fucking insane. Royal Pin. You can get it on Noel for free, which is really cool because will OST tier list win? And that'll be soon. You can join. I'd like to have someone else to bounce ideas off of. That would be fun. Royal Pin, +3 defense, +1 magic. This is actually gonna go pretty high up there, honestly. Not insanely high. It'll go spike band. It'll go above the spike band, actually. No, I'm not singing a song for you to guess. I'm doing a tier list. Jesus Christ. Royal Pin. +3 defense, +1 magic. You get it for 1,000 at Swatch's shop. And it's on Noel. This thing can be really good. The +3 defense is better than the Chapter 2 standard, which is good. You always want an armor that's better than the current Chapter standard. Where's the mouse token? Unused. I'm not going to cover unused armors. Yeah, the +1 magic can be useful, because magic increases the output of any skill. You're not really using magic that often in Chapter 2 unless you have Noel and need to ice shock people. Magic isn't insanely useful in Chapter 2. Actually, it's pretty good for busting down Queen's shield. I think it stays where it is, though. Pretty good spot. Shadow Mantle. This is an interesting one. So, the Shadow Mantle, the defense scales depending on your chapter number. So we're gonna talk about this as if it's, we're gonna talk about this as the chapter that I need to talk about it comes up. Shadow Mantle is +3 defense in Chapter 3, which is the chapter standard, which is unfortunate. But it has a secondary effect that defends against dark and star enemies including the Roaring Knight, dark enemies including the Titan. And it has, I believe, a secret mechanic where if you put it in the top armor slot, it redirects all attacks to the wearer. So I'd say it honestly goes really high up. The Shadow Mantle is pretty much how you get through the night fight if you don't hate yourself. Plus, it will scale the armor. It's in Chapter 5. It's +5 defense. Mantle feels like it's going to be the greatest event, especially if we rematch the night. Yes, I agree. The Mantle is definitely up there, yeah. Why is Mannequin so high? I talked about this when I ranked the Mannequin, but the reason it's so high is because of it is a single-use armor, but it's 40% defense against Spamton, and its Last Resort option against Pink also gives it some extra points. And pretty much everything else below it is just worse than it. So don't worry, there's gonna be, as we get later in the chapters, there's gonna be quite a bit of stuff that goes up here. It redirects every 2 attacks to the wearer, then a third to the random person. Topping, okay, okay. Looping in the first slot or just once in the second for the night fight only. If no mantle, Chris can't be hit. I do like to put my Shadow Mantle on Chris and use Chris as the tank, because now Susie can't take damage and Rouse can build more TP by defending. Unless by team damage. I think the only attacks that do team damage in the knife fight are Sword Circle and Box Slash. I'm just saying names, by the way. You probably know what I'm talking about. There's the Sword Circle, which is when the knight cuts a sword in all directions, pretty much. No, that's not even a circle, is it? I don't know what I'd call that. And then there's... yeah, there's the box cutter attack that cuts the box in half over and over. Star attacks, those also are AoE, yes. The star attacks are really easy to dodge, though. I think they're the easiest attacks. Yeah, I'd say it goes up there. I'd say honestly, I'd be down to move the mannequin lower once we're doing final revisions. But yeah. Shadow Mantle, I forgot to put it up there. I was just talking about it. It goes... For now, it goes above Javel's Tail. In game changing. The Shadow Mantle is a game-changing armor. It makes the night fight, like, feasible for anyone who's not insanely good at bullet hells, like myself. The Shadow Mantle is actually intended for the night fight. It's intended that you get the Shadow Mantle before fighting it. You can beat the knight without it. I've seen many people have, and many people say they have, and I haven't personally because I don't want to try it. It just seems like too hard for me. But yeah. Shadow Mantle is definitely up there. It'll be such a great investment if we ever have a knight rematch. It's also pretty good in the Titan because the Titan does insane damage and it defends against Dark. I believe it reduces damage by 2/3, if I remember correctly. Maybe 3/4. Defends against that one Garson attack. Which one? The mannequin or the Shadow Mantle? What? Does Gerson have a darker star attack? Or do you mean the Sound of Justice? Sound of Justice, I imagine, is dark. This song is so good, bro. Oh my god. Really? Oh, that's crazy. I never knew that. Shadow Mantle defend that. You're probably not using the Shadow Mantle on Susie for that fight, especially because that attack's just really easy to dodge after the explosion into all the stars, but oh my god, that's such a fun detail. I like that. That's a really fun detail. Okay, now we're on some simple armors. Lodestone +2 defense TV gain. We don't need to explain that. It's just a slightly less gain than the tension bow, so it goes slightly below the tension bow. I'd say it's in this. I'd say they're interchangeable because you can buy infinite lodestones. I like to use lodestones for the night fight because you need to spam Rube Busters. Yeah, absolutely, Elite Ball. I never knew this. Ginger Guard +3 defense. The definition of slot filler. I'd say actually it goes below the Amber card. Nobody, and I mean nobody, has used the Ginger card. Ginger Guard. I've never heard of a single soul using the Ginger Guard. Because it is just a raw 3 defense. Most of the armors you get in Chapter 2 and Chapter 1 that you're actually going to keep using are just better than a raw 3 defense. Once you get the Chapter 3, especially, and there's the Tenatai and the Blue Ribbon that you get from the slot machine. The Ginger Guard is actually maybe the most useless armor in the entire game. It has no uses. The Amber card has more uses because you get only 3 unique. You only get 5 unique armors in Chapter 1. One of which you get after the Jebel fight. So you need all 3 of the unique ones you get before the Jebel fight. And you get, because if you're fighting the devil, you need 3 amber cards and the white ribbon, dice brace, and iron shackle. Ginger guard has no apparent uses. What are you using the ginger guard for? The only time you're using the ginger guard is if you're starting from chapter 3. It's just useless. I think it is the most useless armor in the game. I've never used the ginger guard because it is just a raw 3 defense. Amber card also fuses into the, yeah. Amber card is, I think, way better than the ginger guard. Honestly, no, I wouldn't put amber card again. No, I would. I think for usability, I'd put the amber card above the dice brace. We'll talk about that later, I guess. I'm gonna edit this into a video, so. Blue ribbon. This one's fun. It's not that great, though. Does it list the percentage that the healing increases by? Anywhere? 12.5%. Does not apply to Giga Salad or S Poison. What does Giga Salad do? Huh. Oh, it's unused. Okay, doesn't matter. Scar Elixir. Why not Scar Elixir? You can't fuse a triple ribbon. Blue ribbon actually can do fuse into the Monarch ribbon though, so it gains some usability because the Monarch ribbon is just the princess ribbon for magic users, for people that want to use magic and stuff. So I think it's pretty good. Blue ribbon, you're not using it ever though. 12% heal. Rouse gets no chance to actually use healing in chapter 3 without wasting TP, because in all the boards you want to have max TP so you can get the extra points. Yeah, for all the boards, there's a TP requisite for an S rank on fights. Then just all the normal fights, you can just use items instead, like TV dinner, which is really accessible. TV slop, which if you get S rank, it's also just TV slop is better than heal prayer in chapter 3, if you actually build decently correctly. Scarf mark and princess, what? Oh, I'm stupid. Okay, blue ribbon loses points then. Can you buy only one scarf mark, by the way? That's something I don't really know yet. No, it's not something I don't know, it's something I don't remember. +1 defense, +1 magic, and a healing gain that is not good. Or not really usable. This thing is bad. This is bad armor. Honestly, below the silver card. You're not going to need 1 magic, you're not going to need 1 defense, and the extra healing is just not that great. Because you can always just use items. That's the thing that's always going to hurt Rouse as a character, as a party member, as a healer, is that using items will always be a better alternative, which is unfortunate. Heal Prayer in Chapter 5 with the best build, I saw someone do the math. Deltarune. Heal Prayer in Chapter 5 with the best build possible only does a green tea. It only does 180. Blue Ribbon is pretty bad. Blue Ribbon goes really down. And it's below the silver card. Silver card actually has a decent secondary effect that can be stacked. The Blue Ribbon secondary effect is practically useless. It's unfortunate it's unfortunate how little value healing spells have right now. Hopefully they get buffed eventually, you know? Healing spells are kind of useless right now. Revive Song is pretty good, but if you're using the blue ribbon on Revive Song, you probably have a problem, I'm not gonna lie. Especially in a chapter where you'll have... I'll turn this shit off, dude. I'm not listening to Brat Fashion right now. Turn this shit off. What the fuck, dude? Sorry, Cat Fashion. The one good thing about Ribbon is that it buffs Top Cake and Executive Dinner. True. Not that much, though. Yeah, using an item is considered a healing move. Though it's just not that valuable. Especially in the night fight, even if you're like a pacifist, the Lux Dinner will practically heal you to max HP. Unless your Chris is somehow like below 20 HP, which I don't even know how they're alive anymore. But yeah, Blue Ribbon's kind of useless. It's unfortunate. Hopefully it gets a crafting recipe in like chapter 6 or 7. Unfortunate though. This one, Tenatai. I actually really like the Tenatai. A +5 defense plus a -2 magic. Spin cake person or top cake person? Spin cake all the way. Top cake, no. I don't know why I'd get the top cake when the spin cake just becomes it later. You know? Plus the spin cake has infinite uses. No top cake for me. I like the spin cake quite a lot. Blue Ribbon buffs items. It does, but you're probably just not going to need it. I feel like the 1 defense and 1 magic don't really add up to how much the item buff really is. Because you can just use items normally as a replacement. Like a green tea. What's the math on that? A green tea, 180 plus 12.5%. The buff isn't that great. It's like, what, 21 HP? So green tea does like 201 now. You can just use Revive Song. You know? Or just use a normal green tea. I don't think a 20 HP difference changes everything, you know? I don't think the Blue Ribbon is that high up. I think it's interchangeable with the silver card. You were just being devil's advocate. Yeah, fair. Tenatai, though. I really like the Tenatai. So... I'm gonna need to explain this, because the Tenatai looks really weird on paper. The Tenatai is +5 defense and -2 magic. In this chapter, you want Chris to be your tank. Because you're gonna give the Shadow Mantle to Chris. So Chris can redirect attacks and, you know, take damage that everybody else would otherwise, right? And Chris does not use magic. Chris has no magic spells, so the -2 magic practically means nothing. This is a raw 5 defense to a character who needs nothing but defense in chapter 3. The Knight barely ever hits Chris, so you just give the Shadow Mantles to Susie. The Knight will hit Chris 2 of 3 times if you put the Shadow Mantle in the first slot on Chris. The Shadow Mantle has a secret redirect function. Yeah, Tenatai is really good. Tenatai honestly goes up there. How high would I put it, though? Frayed Bowtie goes above it, honestly. I could put these next to each other. +5 defense is really valuable in Chapter 3, because the standard is +3, right? The only other thing that does that in this chapter, I believe, is the Dealmaker. Just the Dealmaker. I think that's the only other armor that does +5 defense in Chapter 3. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, Tenatai it was really high up. It's like the perfect armor to put on Chris in this chapter. Dog Widow, horrible. Worst armor in the game. Actually, better than Ginger Guard. I just hate the Ginger Guard. The Dog Widow. Sometimes I put my Shadow Man on Susie, and she screams loud as Dog Widow. +6 defense, -90% money gained. Why would you do that to yourself? So, in Chapter 5, you're making thousands per fight, right? If you have max TP and you, like, beat Aqua or something, maybe whatever character, right? I would say Tenatai is above Frayed Bowtie, specifically because of its crafting. True, actually. And the True Tie ends up being, like, actually, I'd say they're interchangeable. True Tie ends up being, like, definitely up in the top tier. At least for Chapter 5. You can get through... Yeah. You can get... Yeah, so here's the thing with Dog Widow. Dog Widow is just a Netsky hat that cuts your money from 1,300 gained to, like, 130 gained. It's so bad. Honestly, it goes below the Ginger Guard. It's more useless than the Ginger Guard. How do you manage to do that? You reloaded your save when you saw the thing stats. I wanted to, but I just did it. I just kept going. I didn't want to do that especially because I was recording. But yeah, I'll never make the Dog Widow again. Genuinely the worst armor in the game. Red Ribbon. +4 defense, +1 magic. Does it have a secret ability? No. +4 defense, so it is a wafer guard that gives... It's a wafer guard that gives +1 magic. Do I even have the Red Ribbon on this list? I don't. I do not. Where's my Red Ribbon image? I can add it. I can just add it right now. I'll have to edit the tier list manually myself later. Do I have the Red Ribbon? It's on there, right? No? I probably mistook the tension bow for it, didn't I? Well, that was me. Didn't I? I did, didn't I? Alright, so I'm gonna pull up OBS and put a break screen on, so that you guys can't see my files. Because I think my ID's in there, and I do not want to show that to people. Let's see if I can find my Red Ribbon image. Yeah, I just did not send it to my little server that I was using. That's crazy. One thing I forgot was the Red Ribbon. Don't worry, we're gonna add it. I already have the image made. Alright. Download. I'm just call you red.jpg. Choose files. I'm sloppy, I'm sorry. I promise. I didn't mean to. Alright, Red Ribbon is added. Let's go to OBS, switch back to the stream. Hi guys. Chat, come back, chat. Where's chat? Where is chat? I didn't actually stop streaming, did I? Your homework folder. I don't have a homework folder. I graduated. Alright, there it is. Hi chat. You're back on screen. Alright. Blue ribbon plus red ribbon would be nice to make a purple ribbon. I'd like that. Okay, +4 defense, +1 magic. I think that's okay. Where would I put that, though? It's definitely way better than the Big Shot bow tie. We're not putting that anywhere near the Big Shot bow tie, right? This thing can also be bought in bulk. Remember that? You can buy it multiple times from green, and you can find it in multiple chests. So this thing is really obtainable. I'd say it's either below the pink ribbon. I think it's either right below the pink ribbon or right above the twin ribbon, and good. It's not crazy usable when you get it. It's actually it is pretty good though. For now, I don't remember ever equipping the red ribbon. Susie's ribbon arc. Yeah, you don't really use the red ribbon at all. It's pretty good, but all the options this chapter's, yeah, I'd say it's just good. All the options in chapter 5 are really good, and we're gonna get to those in a bit, honestly. Right after the Netski hat. Netski hat is just +6 defense. It was really good for me because I just got to put it on over armors that really sucked. I think it is the only standard armor in the game that's actually really viable. Also, don't ask me why chapter 5 armors are before chapter 4, okay? Ask the wiki. Netski hat honestly goes really high up there. I think it's just the fact that you can buy it multiple times. You can find it in multiple chests, and it's 6 defense instead of 5. If it was 5 defense, it would be practically useless. But 6 defense is really usable. It is definitely maybe in... I don't know. Netski hat. I'd say it goes right above the red ribbon. Maybe bottom of insane. No, not bottom of insane. Top of good. Top of good. Yeah. Yellow steam pitched differently? That's what they all are, pretty much. Do I want to do these monsters, or do I want to save them for the end? What do we think? Do we rank all the flower items right now, or do we save them for after all the Chapter 4 armors? What do we think? Also, did I skip the True Tie? I did. Let's go to True Tie, actually. Do not wait, leave the... Okay, yeah, you're right. Let's hold off for now. Let's go to True Tie. So this... It is a fixed Tenna tie and a fixed frayed bow tie. It's of a genuine tie worn by a forgotten TV star. So I guess this is Spamton's Big Shot era tie, I think, especially because of the cat defend. So reduces attacks by 20%. It is just a mini deal maker, honestly. Except for the money gained. It goes really high up, honestly. I think it goes next to the Shadow Mantle. It'll be your saving grace in the pink fight, just like the Shadow Mantle is your saving grace in the night fight. Spam Tenna tie. Bonus points for career romance. Agreed. Agreed. True Tie goes really high up though. It is a really good item. The +5 defense, honestly. No, obviously really good. It is the same thing as the Tenna tie. It's a little bit below the Netsuki hat by defense, but it also has the +1 attack, and as you know, I value multiple stat boosts over one single high stat boost. And this is just taking one defense, putting it into attack, which is honestly kind of really valuable. Not really in Chapter 5, though. Attack has, like, almost no value in Chapter 5, but you have to think about the fact we're going into Chapter 6, which is going to be the start of the climax. I was too blinded by the dog widow hate, you're right. But yeah, True Tie, so the +1 attack is going to be valuable in Chapter 6. Only downside is that it gives attack in a chapter where attack is useless. Yes! I want to talk about this. It is going to affect a lot of rankings. In Chapter 5, the attack stat is practically useless. There are no bosses in the chapter that can be attacked. Flowery can be attacked, but everybody heals him. And then everybody refuses to fight afterwards. None of the flowers can be killed, so there's literally no reason to attack them. It's just easier to spare them. And Pink, you do 0 damage to Pink. The only reason to attack Pink is to gain TP. Aqua Knife found dead in Snowden. Well, you get it at the end of the chapter. It's gonna be... I'm not gonna call the Aqua Knife useful. I do not like the Aqua Knife, let's just say that, okay? It's still faster to spare, yep. You gain nothing from using attacks in Chapter 5. So the +1 attack will probably gain a little bit of value in Chapter 6, but then you lose Cat Defend. If we fight Potential Man, friend, if we do fight Potential Man in Chapter 6, then the True Tie and stuff will just go up in value again. So I'm gonna have True Tie, honestly, we'll have it interchangeable with Devil's Tail. I'll have it above Devil's Tail, obviously, but it'll be interchangeable. That's what we'll call it. Let's go all the way back down. Let's skip all of the flower items, because we don't want to kill everything else in the process, and go to Wafer Guard. Wafer Guard is useless. Let's just say that right now. The Wafer Guard, you don't need to buy it. You don't need to buy the Wafer Guard. The Wafer Guard is a +4 defense. It is not that great. You forgot Monarch Ribbon? True. I'll do that after the Wafer Guard, because the Wafer Guard is going to take like 2 seconds. You don't need the Wafer Guard. You don't need it. It can be usable. You're never going to equip it, though. There's a high chance you have not ever equipped the Wafer Guard. You can attack Makuro South to end the battle, but, like, don't do that. There's also no reason to, you know? Because I think sparing is just always faster when it comes to the flowers. Wafer Guard, it's just 4 defense. It's the same thing as the Ginger Guard. You're never going to use it. Because you have the Deal Maker, maybe the Devil's Tail if you got it. 4 defense is way more valuable than the Ginger Guard, though. Because it's right off of Chapter 3, which didn't have that many great armors. I'd say it goes in alright. Above the Glow Wrist. It's also expensive, yet you're better off saving 10k for the Gold Widow. True. Wafer Guard, I'd say goes here. Right above the Glow Wrist, below the Blue Ribbon. It's okay. It's alright. You know, it's fine. It's fine at best. Power Band and Mystic Band, I'm just gonna say this, I don't like these armors. I hope we can do a craft with them that's an actual armor and not a healing item. Because I believe you can use the Mystic Band for a healing item and the Power Band for a Tension Max, which isn't that great, honestly. Because you get... I mean, if you want infinite Tension Maxes... No, if you want one extra Tension Max, sure. You get a Tension Max before Flowery, you get one in Chapter 3. You don't really need them because Tension isn't that hard to build. Mystic Band and Power Band are just kind of useless. Opposite way around? Okay. The bands are... I mean, the only time I've ever attempted to use the Mystic Band was for the Gerson fight, and it kind of... It increases your healing, sure, but, there's no defense boosts. You kind of get clobbered if you get attacked at all. We're gonna rank them together as, like... last resort. I think they go... In usability, they go below the Amber card. Because the Amber card... We have to... Let's cover this again, because I sound insane putting the Amber card so high up in this tier. The Amber card is the only infinite armor that you can get in Chapter 1. And Chapter 1's highest armors give only 2 defense. Petal Mantle. Could be good. Could be cool. Could be awesome. I don't know. Could be fire. Yeah, this... Oh my god. Mystic Band, Power Band. Horrible. You're never going to use these. You're better off probably using a Wafer Guard over them. Which the Wafer Guard still isn't that good anyways. Amber Card, you can get 3 of them in Chapter 1. They are your saving grace against Jevil. Which is... I'd say Jevil's harder than Spamton Neo. It's not really that debated on, though. Yeah, Power Band and Mystic Band are horrible. Princess Ribbon, on the other hand. Wow. It is a 4 defense. It is a Wafer Guard with half a Mystic Band, half a Power Band on top. This thing is really good. I remember putting this thing in the highest tier back in the Chapter 4 tier list. I'm going to be a little harsher on it this time, though. Because I did put it really high. Princess Ribbon? It's still going to go really high. Because 4 defense, 2 attack is still really good. I'd say, honestly, right below the Mannequin. Because the Mannequin, it still has value. No, Mannequin's weird. You can get multiple frayed bow ties, and they give an Omni boost. Princess Ribbon's also fusion material for a equally as good armor. I'd say the Monarch Ribbon is equally as good as the Princess Ribbon. We need to get back to it to discuss that, though. I'd say Princess Ribbon's above the Mannequin, actually. We're gonna move the Mannequin down a little, actually. Because here's the thing with Toby's nerfs. Toby's nerfs affect the chapter that they're specifically designed to nerf in. They don't affect the full game because the full game is different programs. Nah, I'd say Mannequin goes down right here. Because Mannequin in Chapter 2 still has the value against Spamton. You need to keep that in mind. Mannequin still has the value against Spamton in Chapter 2. Now, Spamton isn't necessarily a hard fight. But if you struggle with it, you're not gonna anymore. Mannequin's pretty good for when you need it. It's also a pretty good last resort against Pink. Honestly, I'm down to move the Mannequin really low if we want to. That's why I'm streaming this, to bounce ideas off of people, because I don't know everything perfectly. Yeah, let's leave it at that for now. And now let's go to the Gold Widow. I like the Gold Widow a lot. The one case where it's useful. Yes, one case armors will be ranked better than armors with no case. One case armors, if their case is good enough, will be ranked better than armors that you use on normal whenever the fucks. Oh, true. You cannot get the mannequin in the weird route where it's most valuable. Mannequin might keep value in later chapters if we can. Yeah, there's also the fact that we might fight Potential Man, which is friend. It's outclassed in its case, not in chapter 2. The only other armor that raises puppet defense. The only other armor in chapter 2 that lowers damage taken from. Yeah, Mannequin. It has a built-in damage reduction against Spamton. The only other armor that you can get before Spamton that does that is the Frayed Bowtie, which only raises 1 defense, so the Mannequin would reduce more damage even with the stab buff. Because 1 defense is not that valuable in Chapter 2. 1 defense. Now, Frayed Bowtie does have an Omni boost, which is why it is still above the Mannequin. Especially because it keeps its value against Pink. The Frayed Bowtie does not get nerfed, unlike the Mannequin. Which is why the Frayed Bowtie is way above the Mannequin. But yeah. Yeah, that's what I put it at. Mannequin, its single-use case is a very valuable single-use case. Single-use cases that are very valuable will get really high. Take the Shadow Mantle, for example. The Shadow Mantle is a single-use case, yet it is ranked all the way at the top of game-changing, because it is a game-changing single-use case. That is how we are going to do the ranking here. If we were ranking every single-use case all the way at the bottom, then the Shadow Mantle would be at the bottom, because that's how that works. And that doesn't sound right, does it? Now, the Gold Widow. Okay. Gold Widow, 1 attack, 5 defense, 1 magic, for the cost of minus 10%. If you're running the Dealmaker, which you should be, this cancels out for a 20% gain. So the 10% doesn't really mean that much. It costs 10,000 dark dollars to get from the donation. You also need to pick it up in the second sanctuary, which is easily missable if you're not paying close attention. Yeah, the 10% money loss is canceled out by the Dealmaker, and you're going to be running the Dealmaker. It is one of the best armors in the game. It is not replaced yet. The Dealmaker is not replaced yet by anything. And yeah, this plus 1 attack, plus 1 magic, plus 5 defense. It is just a way better, like, it's just a true tie without the cat defend, honestly. Gold Widow goes pretty high up. It's a better Tenetai. I wouldn't say it's game-changing, I'd say it's the top of Insane. Alright, one last armor before we get to the flowers. Monarch Ribbon. Oh, I did not know the Monarch Ribbon was that strong. Whoa, what the fuck? What the hell is... Whoa! Okay, Monarch Ribbon's way stronger than I thought. Yeah, Princess Ribbon's already pretty high up with the 4 defense plus 2 attack. 6 defense and 6 attack. That is, and it also increases your healing ability. Whatever has antenna means, it has that. Eyebrows die. Okay, Monarch Ribbon is way better than I thought it was. It's just a better Netsuki hat, so it obviously goes above good. And above the Princess Ribbon. I think Magic is obviously, 1, it has 2 more defense. 2, Magic is just better than Attack in Chapter 5. You don't need Attack for anything in Chapter 5 at all. Don't. I think that's pretty obvious. And it also increases healing ability. How much? Does it list how much it does? Whoa! Hmm. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, it is a blue ribbon on steroids. That's what I'm getting from this thing. Okay. Monarch Ribbon honestly might go to game changing. Yeah, I think it goes bottom of game changing for now. Has antenna, increases healing, but actually it might go above Devil's Tail. Because you're not using the Devil's Tail at all in Chapter 5, really. Because the Omni Boost doesn't really matter. Here's the thing with the Devil's Tail in Chapter 5. The Omni Boost is cancelled out because you don't need attack in that chapter. So it is a... In Chapter 5, the Devil's Tail is a +2 defense, +4, +2 magic. Which... Now it looks like a Chapter 3 item, you know? Monarch Ribbon is +6 defense, +2 magic, and increases healing ability. Monarch Ribbon is cracked, what the fuck? Honestly, I'd say interchangeable with the True Tie. Interchangeable. True Tie, interchangeable. Actually, it might be above the... I'd say above True Tie, actually. Just because the True Tie is a... It is a multi-use case. You can use it outside of its intended area. So I'd say it's really good. Monarch Ribbon is crazy, though. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm gonna need to reconsider some of my builds, actually. I didn't know Monarch Ribbon was that crazy. That's definitely going on Rousey now. Yeah, that's fucking cracked. What the hell? That's really good. Yeah, I think that's a good spot for the Monarch Ribbon. That's way better than I thought it was. What the fuck? Okay, moment everyone's been waiting for. These flower armors. The flower armors are insane. It's nice we can use ribbons on Susie in Chapter 5 now. You don't need healing on Susie, so the Monarch Ribbon on Susie doesn't do a crazy amount, but it's always nice to have. Because, healing... Hopefully Susie gets better at healing. Blue shoes, Monarch Ribbon, and Dealmaker, yellow hat on Rousey. I still don't know if I want the blue shoes is the thing. I don't know how much I value the blue shoes over the Seth specs. We'll have to see, though. Alright. Oh yeah, there should be 6 in best. You're right. We'll move some up after we're done with these. Well, there should... I don't think there should be 6 in best. Because then you would just go right down to game changing for the stuff you'd put on after that, right? I'll cover my builds for each character in a separate video, which will probably be my next video after I upload this. So don't worry about that. We'll see what I think for the build. I'm not gonna put 6 in the best. I'll have the best just be the best armors, and you can build around them. Whoa, that's weird. Specs are bugged because the flowery fight caps your iframes. That's just one fight, though. The Seth specs will be usable in every single fight, because the iframe increase is just insane. Let's cover... Which one do I want to cover? I'll cover the orange glove first. The orange glove is +8 defense and +4 attack. The 8 defense is the highest stat boost we've seen so far for one single stat, I believe. Is that correct? It is the highest boost for one single stat. I think 8 defense is the highest single stat boost. I'm sure I'm correct. We're just gonna go with that. But yeah, and +4 attack, which isn't that usable in Chapter 5, but remember, these things, you get them at the end of Chapter 5, they're meant for Chapter 6. We're going to rank all the flowers, assuming you're using them in Chapter 6, which is likely the start of the climax. Okay? Okay. Because you get them before the flowery fight, okay? You get them before the final boss, which you can't attack. So we're not gonna unfairly rank them because you can't attack the only boss you can use them in. Yeah, they also cut the Scythemare TP in half from 40 to 20, which is good. It makes Scythemare just a way better pacify. The thing is, we don't know how often you're going to be using that. The Orange Glove also has no magic increases, and it can only be equipped on Susie. That is a good thing to keep in mind. The Orange Glove has almost no versatility. It can only be used on one character. So for that, I'm going to put the Orange Glove at the lowest of the flower items, honestly. I think I'd put it above Shadow Mantle. It's going to be here. Game-changing, this is a game-changing armor. But it is not the best of the flower armors. Yeah, there's also a chance the Orange Glove will just be replaced. And I'd say these three are the best stuff to pick up with your pink coins. Can Noelle use the Orange Glove? I'll have to check. I believe it is only Susie because it works on Scythemare. Oh, it can be equipped by Susie or Noelle. Interesting. No special effects on Noelle now. So Noelle's going to be joining in Chapter 6, we know that. We're going to assume that it'll be Chris, Noelle, and Susie. It does no magic boost, though. This thing would gain a lot of value if it did a magic boost, which it does not. Because Noelle and Susie are both magic users. So, and it's also just... It's basically Scythemare. We'll see. It does specifically say Scythe TP, though. Not like Sleep TP or something like that, you know? Unless they change the flavor text, which they probably won't. Well, the effects. I'd say it's safe to put this at top of game-changing. This thing is a broken armor, but I will rank these three higher. These three are, in my opinion, as of making this, which I haven't fully decided on, these are my choices for the pink coins. These three are my choices, and I'm going to explain why. So let's start with the Green Apron. Okay. The Green Apron is a +7 defense, which is the second highest defense stat we saw so far, but it has Defend Heal. Now, Defend Heal isn't that crazy when you really think about it. The thing is, this is a raw defense boost. This stat is a raw defense boost, and it heals on defend. You know who only needs defense? Chris. Chris has the Black Shard, which compensates for any other attack stat in the game, right? Chris just has the best weapon in the game, so you don't need an armor that raises attack that much. The 7 defense is pretty much all Chris needs in Chapter 5, and the Defend Heal makes Chris the viable tank option. If you were to put the Shadow Mantle in first slot and the Green Apron in second slot, if we ever had like a Knight rematch, the Green Apron would be busted. The Green Apron... This is kind of a Potential Man thing, though, I will say. Green Apron, though, insane armor. It does heal a specific... I've tried eating all bullets on enemies and just defend with Chris, and they are nearly unkillable. Yeah. Chris is like the viable tank option for Chapter 5. Let's see. So Chris, I believe in Chapter 5 has a base HP of 210. If I'm incorrect, please let me know. I believe Chris's base HP in Chapter 5 is 210. Every time you defend, you heal 16% HP on the Green Apron. So the +7 defense is making you take less damage, and 16% of... It only works on the Knight fight, but there's the possibility of a Knight rematch. So for a chance like that, where all the redirect is going to Chris, Chris will be taking the most damage, Chris will be healing it from defending. Also, if you want to use Rude Buster, what else are you going to do with Chris? Spam defend? Yes, for sure. All you're going to do with Chris is spam defend. You want to have the healing on Chris. This thing is crazy, but only if you put it on Chris. I want to keep that in mind. Do not put this thing on Susie. Do not put this thing on Rouse. They want magic and attack boosts. Chris only wants raw defense, so you're going to put this on Chris. This is designed for Chris, I believe. The Green Apron, really good armor. I'm going to put it in the best, obviously. I mean, where else would I put it? It's going in the best. That is where it's going. Chris is 240. Which means heals 38, about 38 each defend. I believe... So I did the math on this. Only 3 options is really annoying. Aqua Knife is a better bounce blade, but the Black Shard, I believe, is going to be more valuable for Chris, because if Chapter 6 is the start of the climax, which it is shaping up to be, there will be a lot more fights where we are required to attack. I think you do not need the Aqua Knife because of the Black Shard's existence. That is my hot take. The Aqua Knife is just not needed because the Black Shard exists. Even though the Black Shard doesn't really increase defense, how much is 2 defense going to do for you when you can put the Green Apron on, which is 7 defense and a healing? You know? This is not a weapons video, though. I might talk about the Black Shard versus Aqua Knife in a different video with every other thing, considered. But yeah, Green Apron, really good armor. Insane on Chris. Chris's HP in Chapter 5 is... Okay. We're going to assume there's no violence for most armors and weapons and everything like that. I'm going to assume minimum HP. Because I'd imagine if you're playing the main route, you're going to do all recruits like most people would. Or would try to do. We're going to do the Seth specs next. So the Seth specs is basically a separate dealmaker. It cannot be equipped to Noelle, which is fine because I believe the secondary effect carries over to all party members. There is a weird thing about the Seth specs though. That is bad that it cannot be equipped to Noelle. That is very bad, because I imagine Noelle is going to replace Rouse. In Chapter 6, I'm pretty sure Noelle would replace Rouse, so Seth specs, which you'd probably put on Rouse or Susie. And you might put it on Susie, actually. I think Seth specs on Susie might be fine. We'll see. We will see. I still have to make all my builds and decide what I want. Also, we're not going to have Noelle forever. I imagine we're only going to have Noelle for 1 chapter. You can't get TP during the iframes. I think it's still worth it, though, yeah. Okay, it causes the soul to stay invulnerable for 20% longer than usual. And okay. It increases it from 1.33 seconds to 1.6 seconds. Chris Noelle Rouse? Well then, whatever I'm saying won't matter, and the Seth specs will still be really good, Honestly, I'm gonna go into Chapter 5 with nobody equipped with anything, because all these good-ass armors, I want to find out what the team comp is first, before I, decide. But yeah, Seth specs, really good. The increased iframes is very valuable. We hadn't even talked about the stats yet. +6 magic and +4 defense. That is a dealmaker. That is just a dealmaker, but you put one of the stats into magic, so that's going to be really good on Susie and Rouse. Just an overall crazy armor. I might put it right below the Green Apron because it has a little bit less usability. The Seth specs do increase iframes, which is really good, and that's going to be... Yeah, I think the Seth specs will never be replaced because of their special effect. Neither will the Green Apron. That's the thing with all these armors. They all have special effects that are probably never going to be replaced. Though all the flower items that I rank up here will probably be interchangeable. I think the order will be like, this one's slightly better than this one's slightly better than that one. Last one's the yellow hat. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, So let's go back to my thumbnail. This was my thumbnail. This was my thumbnail that I have in mind for when I edit this into a video. This is literally a Devil's Tail on steroids. And if you watched my previous videos, you'd know I had the Devil's Tail at least top 3 each time. The Yellow Hat is an Omni plus 4 stat boost, plus a 20% boost to any magic skill. O Glove does give 12 combined points, so does this. I hate this thumbnail. It's gonna be fine, don't I? Yellow Hat is fucking cracked, dude. I think the Yellow Hat's the best armor in the game. Honestly, I'd be willing to say by far best armor in the game. I think it clears the Dealmaker by miles. Actually, I think the Dealmaker... Why is the Dealmaker above these? What the fuck? Put the Dealmaker down. Yeah, Jesus Christ. I dropped my phone. That's why my voice shook a little. We're gonna explain a little bit more, though. Which party member should I use the Yellow Hat on? It depends on your situation. I like to use it... I like to do the same thing I did with the Devil's Tail and use it on Susie because of the attack boost. And skill boost. Skill boost? Skill plus 20 is so crazy. Like, your Rude Buster does 400 damage. Okay? Now it does 480. Like, your heal prayer heals 160. Now it heals, what, 210 or something like that? The Revive Song does 200, now it does 240. I don't think there is a single build that would prefer 3 of the other... No, I don't think there is. The 20% skill boost is so valuable. And not even that, it's stacked on an Omni plus 4. What were they thinking when making this? Like, not only does it completely replace Devil's Tail and then some, it's like, it's the best armor in the game. Would it be bad to put the O Glove lower just because it locks you out of getting the others? Yes, it would. I think that's unethical for a ranking like this. Because I think the ranking itself just decides which 3 you want. Like, that's... Oh my god. Yellow Hat. Whoever is in charge of balancing for this game, who did this? Maybe the broken scarf will be repaired. That is an investment that I'm willing to take, honestly. I think it might get repaired. Don't know what the means would be, but we'll see. It'll get repaired, but way weaker than whatever the fuck it was supposed to be, you know? Front inside me is just that strong. Yeah. Do you think Toby will nerf these items? No. I think these items are meant to be endgame. I don't think they will be nerfed. I think the reason the Twin Ribbon was nerfed was because it was so strong for something so early. Especially because Chapter 3 really relies on you getting TP, and Twin Ribbon would have made it way too easy. I think if Twin Ribbon went unnerfed, it would have made the chapter way too easy. I think that's why it got nerfed. I don't think any of the flower items will receive any nerfs at all. I think they are meant to be used until Chapter 7. If Yellow Hat gets nerfed, that's insane. Yeah, the original Flowery Scarf is crazy, but as we know by Flowery, it's fake stats. It's a good thing we couldn't equip it, you know? But yeah, this Yellow Hat, Omni plus 4, which will add up to every fight. Omni stats. The thing about Omni stats, and the reason I always value the Devil's Tail so much, is because an Omni boost in a game like this is way more valuable than a single stat boost because you are using pretty much everything. You are using magic, you are using Rude Busters, you are sometimes using Heal Prayer if it's your last choice, but you're using Rude Busters, right? If you suck at the Titan, you're using dual heals. If you're fighting Gerson, you're using Better Heal or Okay Heal. I forget what it is during the fight. It's one of the two. You're using attack because you need to fight the Knight, you need to fight the Titan, and if you're just fighting in general, you need to use attack. If you always need defense. Every single option in this game needs defense. Susie with 2 yellow hats would go crazy. I have a thumbnail for that. You see this thing? This funny little thing? Yeah, I've been using it. I could make some content with that thingy. But, yeah, oh my god. Yellow Hat is just 2 Devil's Tails with the extra 20%, which makes it so much better. Makes Revive Song basically heal to max. It does. The Yellow Hat is usable on every single party member except Chris. But that's why you're also getting the Green Apron, so that Chris doesn't get left out of anything, right? I think this is the final tier list. Let's discuss for a little, because there are some changes that can be made, and I'm open to discussion. Let's see what you guys think. Every party member with stealth glasses. I tested it out. Multiple stealth specs do not increase iframes, which is fine because that's just save editing. But if you put on multiple stealth specs, you do not get past 1.6 seconds. I already did the testing. Move mannequin down to top of good. What do we think about that? I could do that. I'd be fine with that. But I want to know what everyone else thinks of that first. Because there's like 31 people here. This song is so good, by the way. Yeah, crickets. Tension Bow and Twin Ribbon above Red Ribbon? Honestly, yeah. Twin Ribbon and Tension Bow have way more use. The Red Ribbon you're practically not going to use ever. I think I agree with that, yeah. If any Chapter 6 item will beat these. I think a Chapter 6 item could beat the Dealmaker, but I don't see you replacing the Dealmaker because, I mean, there's 6 armor slots, right? You're going to be using these 6. You're going to be using these 4 and then these 2, I imagine. I imagine you'll be using these 6 that my cursor's going over as armor. Create a special tier for Dog Widow called Tricky Tony. I could. Mannequin has no defense. So, when it says resistance, it means damage reduction. To put that into retrospect, when fighting Spamton with the Mannequin, it'll be 40% damage reduction, which makes an attack that would do... It makes an attack that would do, like, 50 damage, do only 30 damage. Pink Ribbon's so high because of Jebel. I mean, you don't have the Pink Ribbon when you fight Jebel. The Pink Ribbon's so high because, Noel's Sleep Mist. The Pink Ribbon has a secondary effect on top of the Graze area, where when things stay in your graze... It's how grazing works, right? When you graze something, you increase TP, and the longer that attack is in your graze area, the more TP you gain. Which is why if you're just standing around like a heart attack or something, you're gaining TP constantly. The Pink Ribbon's secondary effect comes with that game mechanic, where the bigger graze area makes attacks automatically last longer in your grays because the area is bigger. So you're gaining more TP as well as having more area to gain TP. Damage reduction applied to all of Pink's attacks. Yes, but it is nerfed to 20%, which is why it is way below the frayed bowtie. I could honestly put it at top of good. Princess Ribbon is only usable for the Titan fight, and then turn it to Monarch Ribbon. Yeah, I agree, but what else are you putting above it, you know? It's still really good. Even if you're not crafting it to the Monarch Ribbon, it gets points for just being able to craft it to the Monarch Ribbon. You know? A lot of the value, a lot of the rankings in this are how valuable the item is. Because like a lot of the items below the Devil's Tail can be argued better than the Devil's Tail, like the Gold Widow. But the Devil's Tail is like the best armor for like 4 chapters, pretty much. Does blue slash Monarch Ribbon make Revive just heal 100%? I don't think it does now. I've never heard of that. Bet 50 on Silver Card becoming Gold Card in Chapter 6. Possible. That's possible. That'd be fun. Am I gonna do weapons too? Probably not. Because I would have to rank every weapon individually, depending on which character it can be equipped on. The thing with weapons and armor, most armor can be equipped on every single character, which is why there's a tier list you can make with them. Because they're a lot less straightforward since they can be equipped on anyone. Weapons, however, like, if I were to rank weapons, and I put Woodblade 2 above Devil's Knife for some reason, why would I do that? What are you gonna do? Use Woodblade 2 on Susie? There's no reason to rank weapons. Get ready to rank the auto axe. A Puppet Scarf for real needs a buff? Yes. Puppet Scarf killing your magic for not even that much attack boost is not fair. Also, Rouse has no attacking spells at the current moment. Which, even if he did, there's no reason to use the Puppet Scarf for them because they kill magic, and magic also works on attacking spells. The Puppet Scarf is just bad. Especially because it's either the Puppet Scarf or God himself. Slightly more damage to the knight, I mean, that's not that valuable when you look into it, really. I don't think that's really that crazy good, honestly. The extra damage on the knight fight on Rouse. I mean, I'd rather use Rouse to defend and gain TP than just spam Root Busters. If he gets offensive spells, that make it valuable. Even if he gets offensive spells, I'd rather use Dealmaker instead of the Puppet Scarf on Rouse. Yeah, he used like fucking Hot Shock on a Shuriken and nowhere else. That was insane to me. Actual madman. Yeah, what do we think about this tier list? can set a Balthazar zone on fire, yes. Silver card over chainmail. Honestly, yeah. You only get one chainmail. Chainmail's kind of useless. Silver card increases money gained, for sure. Good tier list, no real issue, yeah. I'd say Suspects and Green Apron are interchangeable. Except, honestly, no. Suspects kind of loses value for not being equipable in Noel. But what, am I gonna put it above the orange glove, which can only be equipped on Susie and Noel? I mean, I think the Suspects just has a better secondary effect anyways. And I always will value good secondary effects over good stat buffs. White Ribbon over Glow Wrist. Better craft, true. Dog Widow too high. Fine, I'll make an extra tier called Dog Widow. I'll call it annoying. I just dropped all my chips on the ground. I hate everything. Now I have to clean up the floor, dude. I hate everything. Oh, God. No, why? Shut up, Flowery. No, it's not. It's not gonna be. I'm not putting the Dog Widow on twice. No, 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 thanks. Ross will cause the third impact in the cutscene only to get fodderized by Miss Mizzle. Truth, Nuke, actually. Ross is so useless in gameplay right now. It is so sad. I hate to see it. Yeah, I think that's the tier list. I put the Power Band and Mystic Band way too high on the other ones. And it's high over Gold Widow for craft. Actually, maybe, yeah. Tenetized craft is probably the most valuable craft in the game. Because of the cat defend. Right now, I'd say it's the most valuable. Monarch Ribbon is up there. I'd say these are interchangeable, by the way. True Tie and Monarch Ribbon. Honestly, yeah. Tenetai above the Gold Widow. Sky Mantle too. That is an unused armor. What? It says electric and holy, by the way. Do we even have an electric or holy enemy? I guess Birdly would technically be... Would Birdly be electric? I think Werewires would be electric. This looks good. Maybe. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. I won't leave the tier list up. I'm gonna go to the bathroom right quick. Do you guys like the layout, by the way? I think it's pretty cool. It'll look really good when I actually play Deltarune on it, because it's meant for 4:3. Right now, I'm using a 16:9 screen, so I had to crop it a little, but you know. Zapper is the only enemy that uses elect? What the fuck? Why? Why doesn't Werewire? Werewire is just electricity incarnate. What the fuck? That's so weird. Alright, I'm heading to the bathroom. I love this fucking song so much. Holy shit. Legendary pull. Hi guys. We're back. So what do we do now? We're kind of done the tier list. Let's go to tenant editor real quick, because there's some things I need to change about my Deltarune. Let's go to tenant editor. Let's go to here, not that. Let's go to here. Tenant editor. Let's go to file chapter 3.0. Let's edit some things. From upload. Enjoying the youthful days. So this is my current perfect save, chapter 3. These are my builds right now, going into the... Why do you have the twin ribbon? You should have 2 lodestones. I'll fix that when I get in game. Did you change those files that you got finished up? Not yet. I haven't gotten around to it. I should do that like right now, actually. So I have the Devil's Knife on Susie, I believe. This is I got the Devil's Knife this time, but I noticed that Jevil isn't very happy with that, so I want to change my flag. It'll be fine. I'm only modding the save for my sake. And in Chapter 5, I'm just not going to use them for my first save video. I'll give myself both the Jevil's Tail and the Devil's Knife, because I just want to have them both. They're both really cool. And also I'm going to go change the flags to make it so I spare Jevil. Oh, the fuck do I do this? Story. I did not check K round now. Jevil. We're going to do spared. Got the Shadow Crystal is correct. Oh, don't worry about the thrash machine. Puppet cat reduction doesn't work on the bombs? Weird. So yeah, I spared Jevil now. Cool. That's what I wanted. I don't know why it doesn't say I got the Shadow Crystal. That's weird. It should say it. It's probably because I gave it to Sham. Weird route. Progress. Ice shock uses. Yep. Regular bullet element. That's weird. Defeated Spamton and Neo. Got Dealmaker. Correct. That is a weird route only, isn't it? I did do this. Why is it not checked? Must I manually check that myself? Chapter 3 should say nothing about shadow crystals. I don't know how much I'd say that changes anything, though. Because the bomb attacks aren't crazy hard. And they don't do that insane amount of damage. Do I need to... Chom has the shadow crystals. Alright. Now I'm gonna get myself a Jebel Sail, because I want one. This is weapons, ain't it? This is technically a modded save, yes. But that's okay. Because I'm not gonna use them in Chapter 5 anyway, so who cares? Now let's save file. Not what I wanted to do. Why won't you just open up? Oh, did I right click it? I did. You go here. Deltarune. Place the file to destination. Yes, please don't dox my name. Please, thank you. Ignore that my shit is called Joker Persona 5. Okay. Yeah, I think we're done with the tier list, actually. I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'll download the stream later. I don't want to stop streaming yet. I do want to get that video out by, like, tomorrow. We'll see. I'll private the stream after it's done, probably. Or maybe not. Alright, let's go play Deltarune now. If anyone's down for that, let's play Deltarune. OBS. Goodbye. Okay, now Deltarune time. Spotify, shut the fuck up. Okay, and let's play the fucking game. Oh, I forgot to resize. Come back. Why are you so small? You tiny motherfucker. Yeah, you are tiny. What the hell? Fit to screen. What the fuck? Reverse, undo. Shit. Why is it like this? What happened? Transform. Reset transformation. Where'd you go? Get back here, you bastard. There you are. You go up here. You go over here. There we go. Now we're good. Now we're fine. My stream delay isn't that bad. You guys like my overlay that I made? I think it looks pretty good. The stream break screens look like hell, but you know, the overlays are nice. Alright, time to change the stream title and stuff so that people don't know that this tier list ever happened. So I can make it to a video without people being like, hey, why'd you upload this twice? I didn't, bro. What do you mean? Deltarune. Yeah, I can alt enter this game now. I'm right before the night fight, by the way. My setup and such. I do have the twin ribbon on you. What do you know? Why is my shit still so wrong? Why did it break itself again? Oh my god. Because I'm not supposed to be full screen while I'm live. Oh. Okay. Let's fix that, actually. Yeah, sorry, I forgot how to do everything. Like stream stuff. No full screen while live. No full screen while live. Keep that in mind, buddy. Also, I can read chat now without having to pander on my phone, so I'll probably be more responsive. Alright. We playing Chapter 3 when Chapter 5 released a week ago? Yes, because I need to catch up on my perfect saves, so I'm going to live stream that because I like making money. And I like talking to you guys. That one too. Welcome back. Yes, I have the Devil's Knife on Susie, and I set it to where I spare Devil because I like things going happy for me. Change the audio output, please. You are on speakers. Let's close Deltarune. Oh, I love Chapter 5. Chapter 5 is such a great chapter. Wonderful. Amazing chapter. I love it. Love it. Absolutely. Okay, so I kind of don't want my taskbar to be hidden anymore. There we go. We're good. I can play the game now. I just need to update my thumbnail. So we're not actually good. I just lied to you guys. I'm sorry. God, I suck. Can't wait for Chapter 6. Neither can I. Is the Deltaruning? We are about to be Deltaruning. It is okay to be excited. I'm so excited. Don't you worry. I'm hyped beyond comprehension. Don't worry, I'm still here. I'm just editing my thumbnail so that people don't know the tier list ever happened. We have to hide it so that I can actually get views on my video about it. Wonder if ice cream guy is done. Do you? Ice cream guy night. Sure. That'd be wonderful, actually. Please make that happen, Sophie. See, I don't take breaks with Deltarune because I want playing Deltarune to be my job one day. I don't upload all the time. I need to start uploading. I'm monetized now, so I'm going to be working extra hard at YouTube now. You're gonna go to sleep. It's 1 a.m. Good night. Sleep well. Don't let the bed bugs, whatever the fuck they do. Alright, thumbnail, title, updated. Let's play the game. The tier list never happened, guys. Let's pretend it never happened. Be ready for the game to lag a little. Sorry for not streaming recently. I've been so busy, like, playing the new chapter, being at work. I've been busy. Nothing changed because Noelle is just a Noelle. I played that. I'm very sad I didn't record it. Yeah, the failed weird route. I'm not going to call it aborted because it does not play the jingle. I'm going to call it the failed weird route, just for reference. But yeah, the failed weird route is. Oh my god. Hall of Fame second best chapter 3 song. I love baiting. I love baiting. I love baiting. How's my mic, by the way? And is Deltarune too loud? What do I typically do in this fight? I don't have my tension max on me, do I? Okay. Defend. Jeez, I am lagging a slight bit. Hold breath, defend, defend. Ow. $146, no Jebel Sail. I could put the Jebel Sail on since I modded it in, but I don't want to, because that's kind of messed up. I mean, it's okay to mod. I don't care. If you want to mod your saves, mod your saves. I do it too. It's fun. I just don't do it when my intention is to make a perfect save. Oh my god. What is happening? Holy frames. Where are my frames? What the fuck just happened? Surely the stream is lagging too, right? Because oh my god. This is very bad pace. I have not gotten any chance to use Root Buster. And a bit. Dude. If people like Melon God and other creators for this game can make a job out of playing Undertale and Deltarune, then it's possible. You just gotta have the ideas. You just gotta be bright. You gotta have a mod team. You gotta know what you're doing, you know? Eventually the game's gonna end, and my hope is by the time the game ends, I have a big enough community that'll follow me through other games. I have high hopes for YouTube. I don't want to be just the perfect save guy forever. You know? But I don't know. Getting 20 people on my live all at once, that is a record for me. I'm setting records for myself every day. Every day I'm improving. Every day I'm getting farther and farther with YouTube. Every day the dream looks closer and closer. Which is why I stay hopeful. Because every single day I'm getting better. And I'm making money now. This is a really good side hustle, if anything. If I eventually become big enough, I don't need to work. I could just play Deltarune all day, you know? I just died, by the way. Maybe I need to be good at the game if I want to play Deltarune all day. Don't worry, I've beaten the night many times before. Holy lag. Surely the... Yeah, for starters, I'm gonna put all my YouTube money into getting a better PC and a car, so I can, you know, move on in life. Because I did not grow up with money, I will tell you that. I did not grow up in... I was not born in money. I was very poor, still am. Good night. Pretty good side hustle. And it's fun. I only do this because it makes me happy. Jesus. How does it look on the stream? I'm going 1 frame per millennium. That's about what I expected, yeah. Barth is fine. Yeah, this is why I don't stream Deltarune. He's in the other room right now, probably dead asleep, I'm not gonna lie, but you know. I am not, by TOS, I am not allowed to disclose how much money I make by YouTube. That is not something I'm allowed to talk about. I do not want to risk my monetization being taken away because I talked about something I'm not supposed to. You can't hear anything I say either? It's the audio that's bugging too? In terms of by TOS, I am not allowed to. No, my audio is going in decently fine. At least on my end. Oh god, yeah. Oh my god. It has not been this bad in forever. I'm probably gonna end the stream after fighting the night here. Yeah, I'm gonna end the... You're not allowed to disclose how much money you make because, you're just not allowed to at all in most companies, honestly. Most really big companies don't really want you going around just saying what your salary is. It's whatever. I don't mind it a shit ton. No, never heard of it. No idea what the hell that is. This is the worst attack ever. Yeah. Don't die now. Oh, come on. No. I just don't feel like it. I got monetized. Okay, I'll give you an idea. I got monetized like 2 days ago. I have not uploaded since I got monetized, and I'm already making like quite a lot. For someone who has not uploaded and has no, like, less than 5k subs, I am making quite a good amount. for being monetized for 2 days. That's pretty good. I'll have to end stream after this. And just do it on my own time. I don't know why it's so laggy right now. No idea what the problem is. Probably just this laptop being a hunkered junket like always. That's what I'm saving up for. Better laptop so I can give you guys quality instead of this junk. After this, I'm gonna download my stream to my phone and edit it into a video. I just wanted to fight some knight. That sucks. Any requests of you? Nope, not really. Just keep tuning into the streams and the videos and stuff. I appreciate having a loyal fan. Having a loyal fan base that's part of, you know, building a nice community. I like that a lot for me. And you. If I deliver good enough content to encourage you to stay, then that's all I need, you know? So this is awful. I'm actually gonna heal Chris with a Revive Mint. I should have just brought a deluxe dinner or something, but I don't have that, and if I don't have it, I don't have it. Probably the biggest waste of Revive Mint you've ever seen, but it's what I had to do. Is that the screeching squire? Is the stream actually kind of moving now? I hope so. I hate this attack. I wish I just beat the fight before getting to it. God damn it. Deltarune has 7 endings. I wouldn't doubt it, honestly. Dude, I'm so off pace. I'm on repeat attacks now. This is such a horrible night fight right now. Damn. And I have 1 more mitten left. Dude, why are you disclosing Toby's secret information, man? What the hell? Not cool. Okay, we're on glow. No way I die here, right? I have Mantle on Chris. I'm defending on Chris. It's also kind of lagging in my favor a little. Whoa, how did I not get hit there? What the hell happened? Holy, feels the aura? This is the only survival? Feels the aura? All revivements used. No other option but to press attack. Feels the aura. I'm from the USA. Born and raised. Unfortunately. Alright, I'm gonna get this black shard, end the chapter, and then end stream. I'm gonna guess you're from, like, I don't know, Europe or something. Maybe the Americas too. Unfortunately, he says on July 4th. Fuck Independence Day, man. I'm not celebrating. I don't take part in American holidays. Europe, well, you said. Oh, yeah, you said country, not continent, didn't you? My bad. Countries are there in Europe? There's fucking UK, there's fucking Ireland. There's fucking Iceland, I think. There's Greece, there's... I know, like, nothing of geography. I'm, like, not educated. I'm gonna guess, you're, uh, um... Italy? No. Do you dislike the USA? Yeah. To a degree. Favorite chapter 5 track? Excluding... Excluding Fireman and Cutie Mimi Magic. Probably Running Sky? Maybe Running Sky. Either Running Sky, Sunset of Seven Sun. I'm gonna do a tier. We're gonna do a tier list on it, okay? I'm not. My brain is not functioning well enough right now. Okay, you have collected 3. I thought it was, like, bugged for a second. Yeah, we'll do a tier list together tomorrow, if you want to do that. Topic. I have a Devil's Tail down here. Just for safekeeping, you know? Oh, they're launching fireworks. Happy 4th, everybody. I appreciate all the Americans that came to watch my stream on the 4th of July. Of all days. Worst day to stream ever, but you know. Fuck the 4th, dude. Fireworks are cool though. I'm like looking out the window and stuff or whatever. Jeez. What a show. You could be my moderator. Maybe when I need a moderator, I'll start picking out moderators. I'm not a big enough streamer to need moderation just yet. Yeah, the fireworks are loud as a bitch. They're kind of pretty, I guess. They're fine. They exist. Actually, physician, add me on Discord. We can like, I don't know if I might need to make like a Discord server or something eventually. Fucking, I meant to give you my Discord forever ago. So, actually, I don't even need to type out my Discord tag. It is literally just my YouTube handle. My Discord handle is my YouTube handle. I mean, let you be a Discord mod? Shit, I'm not making a Discord server yet. I'm not big enough. Maybe at like 10k I'll make a Discord server or something. Who knows? We might get really high up there when I make that chapter 5 video. I'm not gonna make a Discord server if nobody's gonna join it, is the thing. So you'll be there, for sure. You're like my best friend. Almost. I'm not gonna say almost, you kind of are. Almost is so disrespectful, bro. Why would I say that, bro? What the fuck is wrong with me? You are. I'd say you're my best buddy. You are big enough for a Discord server? I don't want to moderate a Discord server yet, though. Well, I could just get moderators. I don't want to just yet. I don't want to. I don't want to. I'd also have to advertise it. Dude, Top-tastic? I've known Toffee for like years, dude. Toffee's just been a friend of mine for like years. That's why he's here right now. We have grown as people together. Fuck yeah. Me and Toffee got lore. Lore that many people would not understand just yet. Alright, that's chapter 3. We're gonna... Yeah, okay, I'm turning off Deltarune. Deltarune's off. Deltarune is off now. Here's my full screen. No, I don't know Toffee IRL. Toffee's like... Yeah, we've just known each other for a while. Not IRL. I can make a Discord server. I'll make like a poll on like fucking my community tab. The fireworks are still going, jeez. Top 10? No, I'd say you're like dedicated fan tier. You're not like good friend tier yet. We gotta like connect and shit or whatever the fuck. Stay for chat for a few minutes. Yeah, I can stay for a bit. We'll stay. I don't want to end just yet. I'll stay. I do need to download my stream onto my phone. I can stay live for a bit. Would it lag if I put on a YouTube video? I could put on my own YouTube videos. Let's go to youtube.com. Spooky dude theories. Alright, so I'm gonna check out one of my videos. Just put it on in the background while I... Oh yeah, the layout I use for these videos sucks, by the way. I hate it. I'm glad I switched off it really fast. People have been watching these videos a ton, by the way. I'm really thankful for that. I'll put this on, like, turn the volume, like, all the way down. Mute it.
Literally fetuses of darkness.
Fetuses of darkness. Thanks, chatter. Alright, I'll have this on in the background while we talk. Whatever the fuck we do. Alright. Sure. There you go. You guys can watch my content while you watch me talk about me, I guess. We're just doing whatever the fuck. The fireworks sound like the rumbling. Oh yeah, they're rough. Oh yeah, I forgot to put my screen on the overlay. Silly, silly me. Let me do that. Screen. There you guys go. My bad. Is that Barth? The fuck? No, Barth is not here now. It's just me. Just me. Right now. Alright, I'm gonna go on Discord CV. Are you Smite 4? Yeah, the stream is a lot better without Deltarune. Is it still lagging? God damn. Maybe it's just an internet issue. Or just a computer issue. How can I not handle YouTube? Got a 240p. How do you handle it now? Like someone, whatever the fuck. I mean, fireworks are technically missiles. Oh, a trash. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Someone's dumpster bin got just tossed over by the rain, and it's in the middle of the road. That is so unfortunate. And it opened wide. Oh my god. I just watched it open all the way up. That is so unfortunate. What FPS is your monitor? I mean, on my side, it's 60 FPS. I think 30 FPS. No, it's 60. It is 60. It's just, this laptop is weak as hell. I'm using YouTube to save up for a better laptop. I'm gonna put all of my YouTube funds to put back into YouTube. I'm going to use all of my YouTube funds to get a way better laptop so I can do streaming and editing and just recording way better. Yeah, this dude's trash can is in the middle of the road. That's so funny. Bro, streaming while I'm at. Hi, Alice. Hey, Toffee, check Discord. Let me, like. I'm gonna put this in our little chat server. This is the trash can I was talking about. It's just in the middle of a road, like, and it opened wide open too. Why are you not reacting to my messages about Barth me Avatar thing? No, I think you're confused. I think you're confused actually. There is no me, you, and Barth thing. It is a me and Barth thing, and then not anybody else thing. Hi Gorg, sorry guys. What? Hey, I'm streaming. What? There's fireworks, yeah. They're really loud. Is it raining now? It's thunder. So that's why there's a trash can in the middle of the road.
Yes,
Did you see it? Look, someone's trash can fell in the middle of the road.
oh, awesome.
I pain.
Okay.
Watching my own videos, I've done things. It's too laggy to play Deltarune.
It's too laggy.
If I play Deltarune, it goes like 1 frame per sometimes on stream. Because this laptop's weak as hell.
So sorry. So sorry.
I'm gonna
your
use
free laptop is not good enough for you.
You didn't even let me finish my sentence.
That's so
I'm gonna use my YouTube money to save up for a better laptop.
Okay.
I'll put YouTube back into YouTube.
This thing's burning, so.
You're not gonna say you let me too. Thanks. He's gone. Hi guys. Indeed, boyfriend cameo, yes. You think the other, like, 5 people watching just have this as background noise? That's very nice. W just chatting? This is a just chatting stream technically. I'd move to Twitch, but I don't have a fan base big enough to migrate. I don't. Maybe one day, but not now. I think my fan base is only staying in YouTube tier for now. Wasn't there a reference about drugs in chapter 5? There was a reference about drugs in chapter fucking 4. Des and Azriel just have weed. Smoked herbs. So fireworks are exploding in the sky. There's thunderstorming, and I'm hearing a bunch of honking from vehicles. Someone get run over. Oh look, my TikTok. My TikTok has changed a lot since then. Honestly, I kind of backpedaled on the whole non-binary thing, but I might go back. I do kind of feel the same way I did before again. I might go back to he there. I don't know. I'm still deciding. Okay, I'm still like, shut up. That and you're not in the hot tub, so they don't give a fuck over there. There are mysterious winds. The mysterious winds. I love Flowery. The mysterious winds. What do you mean backpedal on non-binary? Are you non-binary? I did once identify as non-binary, but I backpedaled because I was like, I don't know. So now I'm he, him again, but honestly, I do kind of feel the same way again. I don't know. Went from that guy I hate to the greatest to ever do it. Kind of jump scare. Dude, I'm like only 18. I'm still discovering myself and shit. Maybe the streaming quality is so bad because it's thunderstorming? That's a possibility, actually. The thunder is so crazy right now, and I record right next to a window, so that's gonna be kind of hard tonight. Actually, no, I recorded all my audio and footage. I just need to download it and crop it. I love how easy my job is. Sure, buddy. Sure, buddy. Sure, buddy. He is black, he, they, final boss. True, actually, I love blue. Dude, I had someone in my TikTok comments correct me for saying blue, for calling blue he. Did you read while playing, or no? Fucking, you can be non-binary and gay, too. I don't even know if I'd go as far as, like, non-binary. I'd probably be at, like, demi-boy or something, or whatever. The gay do crime character ever. Where did that trash bin go? It's gone now. Because some people identify with what they identify. It's just how identity works. Some people don't identify as male or female and like being called different pronouns. That's just how it. This is how it is. Why? Because people want to be respected for how they feel. There's not really much of a why to it. It's just people feel how they feel. It's just common decency to respect that. I recorded this video on my console. My PS5. That's why there's all the console borders on there. You say put yourself through that as if it's some kind of suffering. It's not really. Some people just feel differently. There's really not much of a why that I haven't said. People just feel differently than what you think. Everybody's different. Got told to pick a struggle as a cis black guy who was bi. Some people just have hate in their hearts. I mean, that's just, I don't, it shouldn't be how it is, but it is. It is how it is sometimes. That's why there's movements like Pride Month and such. There's Pride Month, Pride parades, there's all kinds of things, awareness days. Because some people just can't accept that other people feel differently from them. I think the mature thing to do is to not ask why someone feels this way, but instead to try and understand why they feel that way and respect them for it. If you're implying that any of that is some kind of struggle, then you are the problem. Told it by someone who was basically in the same spot. I don't even. Oh, look, Shay. I don't even know what to say other than humor is suggestive. But even then, I don't even agree with it because, like, that's not humor. That's just being a dick, you know? Humor is suggestive when it's actually humor and not just being a total asshole, right? Yeah, the mature thing to do is to respect someone for how they feel, their identity. It's the same thing as, like, being black is the same thing as being white, right? Being gay is the same thing as being straight. Being cis is the same thing as being anything under the trans umbrella, really. There's no real difference. It's just some people have trouble accepting that people feel differently from them. She kind of is, but it goes both ways. You used to like fair. I want to build a community of people that will accept anyone else in the community for who they are, unless they're an awful person. If you're a dickhead, then I mean, you still deserve your identity to be respected, but you don't deserve your person to be respected. Let's make that difference like clear. Look away for 1 second. What happened? Oh, the conversation got brought up, so it's a conversation we're having now. But yeah, I want to build a community of strictly respectful people. And if you are not going to be respectful, then you can get the fuck out of my community. If you want to fucking learn, if someone is uneducated, then don't be disrespectful in teaching them about how things are. If someone is uneducated and refuses to learn, then they are not welcome in the community. If someone refuses to learn in general, they are not welcome in the community. If someone if someone learned and is disrespectful regardless, they are not welcome in the community. That's how I want to run things here. If you are not a respectful person, you do not deserve to watch content on my channel. I think she has a flat screen. What? Dump her ass. Ah, hey Alex. Hello, welcome. Hello and welcome. If you're gonna hate me, make sure it's because I'm an ass and not because I like boys. Exactly my point, yes. If you don't like me, it better be because you don't like me and not who I am. Flip, flip. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. Oh yeah, chapter 5 is great. I love chapter 5. Wonderful chapter. It is still all I'm thinking about. Yo, shut up. When does Pirate Gaster with his full acid body shield show up? Chips Ahoy land! Thing I can't say on YouTube. And so many people hating on it for not being a serious chapter, even though Toby Fox. Yeah, it's not even an unserious chapter either. It's like really fucking serious. Ooh, our silly friend is. Longer's left on this video. Quite a bit. Chapter 5 video is probably going to be a lot shorter. Maybe not. Depends how in depth I go to it. Chapter 5 felt semi-serious. I think the plot points they discussed in the chapter were really interesting. Because the flowers asked questions that were never asked before, which I really do appreciate. Especially Flowery. Flowery asked the question of, like, is it really just that Castletown gets to stay open and not Flower Kingdom? Which I think is really, really good. I think we needed something like that, definitely. feel like people didn't read enough. I feel like people just took the whole chapter at surface value. There's a lot of allegories for many real world things that are still very powerful in the chapter itself. Stuff like Rousey's internalized hatred or objectifying of darkness that can be used as an allegory for internalized homophobia or transphobia. But that's just allegories. I think it's definitely intentional, the allegories, but even if you don't consider that and just take it for the value that it has in its own media, it's a very powerful question that's asked, and I'm very glad it was asked. Because now Rousey is forced to actually consider what he hasn't before. Which is it really just that he is more valued than someone like Flowery when they're both Dark World denizens, you know? Even though Flowery's not really a Darkner, Flowery's a Plantner, right? Flowery's a flower. Even though they're not really Darkners, and it's kind of a very different case, it's still definitely interesting that the question's actually asked. I really appreciate the chapter for all the asking of the questions that was done. It's really fucking cool to me. I love it. That's probably one of my favorite parts about the chapter. How in-depth they go into the moral aspect of a lot of things. Flowers mean something to me. Very glad Chapter 5 released a new idea of characters and not being actual Darkners. Yeah, I really like the Plantner concept. That's what I call it. I call it Plantner. I think a lot of other people also call it Plantner. It's... I don't know what I'd call it because it could probably apply to other things. It's when something... A Plantner is a Darkner of a living thing given sentience, while normal Darkners are non-living things given sentience. So a plant given a mind. That's what a Plantner would be. Really interesting. I really like it. What is this clip? This is from like JJS from forever ago, dude. It's like 11 months ago, JJS. This is old. Oh, these people suck. What the hell? I haven't played JJS in forever, but these people I'm fighting suck. What the hell? I'm interested. I hate the ads that just say free games because it's always porn. Oh, hey, Based, what's up? Yo, what is that ad? Yeah, free game. The ads that are just called free games are always some softcore porn. It's really funny. Bro, you gotta get an ad blocker? I have an ad blocker. This doesn't work on YouTube. Why do you think I'm not getting ads when I watch my own videos? It just doesn't work on those. On my phone, I get ads watching my own stream. So I can't. There's like a period where I can't view the chat. I need to get premium. Did you see that they're getting Studio Mappa to animate like? Yeah, YouTube is blocking ad blockers. That is happening. I don't know. Stops you from watching videos. Interesting. Oh, I haven't seen that. I guess my ad blocker just doesn't work on YouTube then. Hmm. Well, their YouTube started lagging. Is stream lagging for anyone else? Yeah, stream's lagging again. Damn it. All right, I'll turn down the quality off of HD. Fine. Probably because of the thunderstorm. Going to the beach tomorrow. You're excited. That's awesome. I haven't been to the beach in years. What tickled me? I was talking to my boyfriend about, the whole demi boy thing, and he was like, "Be who you are for your pride." It was funny. It was funny. I haven't been to the beach in forever. I'm also just an otter. I don't know. You know, the tickle monster got me. I'm the tickle monster. The fuck? I am the tickle monster. That's me. Yeah, maybe tomorrow or sometime this week we could do the OST stream. Want to do that? Coffee. Bartholomew. His name isn't Bartholomew, by the way. I'm not gonna say his name because I'm not gonna dox my boyfriend. But yeah. All right. I think I'm ready to end stream. We can like recoup later tomorrow. I'll upload my tier list as an actual video for some people to watch. And yeah, that's all I got for today. I just wanted to talk for a bit, chat it out after tier list and fight in the night, whatever the fuck. All right, that'll be all for me today, folks. I will catch you tomorrow and such and whatnot. There's my stream starting screen. It looks really horrible. Maybe not tomorrow? Okay. That's fine. We can do it whenever you're ready. Alright, see ya. I'm ending like now. Goodbye.